7 Secrets of Vishnu by Devdutt Pattanaik. Chapter 5, Ram's Secret, Outgrow the Beast to Discover the Divine. Part 1. Vishnu's stories can be divided into two sets: those who function in a timeless realm and those who function within time. The first set deals mostly with Devas and Asuras. The second set deals with Manavas and Rakshasas. The battle of Devas and Asuras has more to do with timeless issues revolving around wealth creation, emotional security, and intellectual growth. The battle between Manavas and Rakshasas has more to do with appropriate social conduct, ethics, and morality that is a function of history and geography. Devas live in the sky and Asuras live under the earth. Their battle is aligned vertically between the celestial realms and the nether regions. Manavas and Rakshasas live on earth. Their battle is aligned horizontally between culture and nature, between dharma and adharma. Words like justice, righteousness, and goodness do not adequately explain the term dharma because notions of justice, of what is right and good, change over time and are different in different parts of the world. Dharma is the underlying principle that enables man to realize his divine potential through social behavior. To understand the words dharma and adharma, we have to realize the stark divide between humans and the rest of nature. Only humans have the ability to reject the law of the jungle, both positively and negatively. Positive rejection of the law of the jungle means that we empathize and include others in our quest for security and growth. This is dharma. Negative rejection of the law of the jungle means that we exploit others and include all in our quest for security and growth. This is adharma. Dharma manifests as rules that seek to provide for and protect all creatures. This means actions that help the helpless, where the mighty care for the meek. Adharma is the very opposite, taking advantage of the law of the jungle for the benefit of a few at the cost of the rest. Adharma is about domination, territoriality, hoarding, attachment, and power. Dharma is about outgrowing these cravings. Humans who uphold dharma are called Manavas, after Manu, the first human who rejected the law of the fishes. Humans who uphold adharma are called Rakshasas and are often described as demons. Both Manavas and Rakshasas are grandchildren of Brahma, indicating that they are two different frames of mind. The conflict forms the keystone of the epic Ramayana. Ramayana tells the story of Ram, the only avatar of Vishnu to be worshipped as king. It is the story of a man who upheld the code of civilization and refused to succumb to animal instincts despite every provocation. To appreciate the Ramayana, one must first hear the story of Prithu and his father, Vena. The Bhagavad Puran refers to a king called Vena who plundered the earth so much that the earth, in disgust, ran away in the form of a cow. This naturally resulted in chaos. The plants refused to bear fruit and the seeds did not sprout. There was hunger everywhere. Animals cried, humans wailed. The sages then decided to do something about it. They picked up a blade of grass, chanted magical hymns, turned the grass into a potent missile and used it to kill the greedy king. The rishis then churned Vena's corpse, removing all that was savage and untamed in it, and created a new king from the distilled, purified, positive elements. This king was called Prithu, a form of Vishnu. Prithu went to the earth cow and requested her to provide milk for his subjects, but the cow refused. She was still angry. So Prithu raised his bow and threatened to shoot her down with his arrow. "If you kill me," said the earth cow, "then all of nature will be destroyed and so will all life." Prithu then argued that without domesticating the earth, he could not feed humanity. He had no choice but to tame the earth, turn the forests into fields, route the water of rivers with canals. "Do so then in moderation," said the earth cow. So Prithu promised to institute dharma through rules that allow culture to thrive without destroying nature. This is not easy, it must be remembered, because human life is validated when there is growth. Animals have no such desire to grow. Growth of human civilization involves the domestication of nature, the uprooting of forests and destruction of ecosystems. This material growth can destroy the world if unchecked. The only way to check it is by tempering it with intellectual growth and emotional growth, which are the two limbs of spiritual growth. Dharma balances nature and culture between the needs of animals and the needs of humans. The symbol of Dharma is the bow, which the gods gave to Prithu. The bow indicates balance. The string cannot be left loose or too taut. Prithu is described as the first responsible king of earth. This is why the earth is called Prithvi. As human society creates settlements, forests are turned into fields and animals are domesticated. This gives man extra resources, more food and time. This enables man to move from material pursuits to other pursuits, such as art and philosophy. But to ensure that there is no excessive material exploitation of earth, rules are put in place. These rules are known as Varna, Ashrama, Dharma. Varna Dharma means every human being has to function as per his station in life, while Ashrama Dharma means every human being has to function as per his stage in life. Thus, in Dharma, humanity is governed by duty, not desire. Rules are not ends in themselves, they are warning signs so that greed does not rear its ugly head. There are 4 stations in society. Brahmana, the station involved with spiritual activities. Kshatriya, the station involved in administrative activities. Vaishya, the station involved in wealth-generating activities. And Shudra, the station involved in service-providing activities. Varna means disposition. Jati means profession. In an ideal world, Varna corresponds to Jati, but this is rarely the case. If it were so, then Varna would supersede Jati, as Varna is natural while Jati man-made. When Jati supersedes Varna, when professional station is given more importance than natural disposition, problems emerge. There are 4 stages or ashramas of life. Brahmacharya, the student stage. Grahastha, the householder stage. The Vanaprastha, the retirement stage. And Sannyasa, the hermit stage. Ashrama ensures that not more than 2 generations utilize the earth's resources at any one time. When the grandson is born, it is time to retire, eat less food than the householder. And when the great-grandson is born, it is time to become a hermit, eat what the forest, not the field, provides. The role of instituting and maintaining dharma in society is given to the king, who is treated as the diminutive double of Vishnu. Like Vishnu seated on a hooded serpent, he has to stay alert and ensure everybody behaves as expected of their station and stage. If things go wrong, he has to rush as Vishnu would rush on his eagle to set things right. Like Vishnu, he has to blow the conch shell trumpet to remind people of their obligations to outgrow animal instincts. Like Vishnu, around whose index finger rotates the wheel, he has to review things periodically to ensure things keep moving. Like Vishnu, he has to wield his mace and lotus, punish lawbreakers, and reward law-abiders. Only this would ensure peace and prosperity in the kingdom. And if all kings function as Vishnu does, there will be peace and prosperity across the world. The needs of humans will be satisfied without affecting the needs of animals and plants, and the regenerative capacity of earth. Only if the king does his duty will the earth cow be happy. But in the material world, nothing is permanent. As faith in spiritual reality collapses, fear resurfaces. Duty gives way to desire. Ambition rears its ugly head. And eventually, rules are compromised. Humans refuse to function as per their station in society and stage of life. The excesses of man breaks the back of the earth cow and makes her udders sore. In despair, she turns to her guardian, Vishnu. and he responds by descending in various forms, sometimes animal, sometimes human. These descents are known as avataranas, and the form Vishnu takes each time is known as avatar. The number of avatars varies. The most popular list, based on Jayadev's 12th century song Gita Govinda, has 10. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vaman, Parshuram, Ram, Krishna, Buddha and Kalki. In the Bhagavad Puran, there are 22 avatars. The other 12 are Chatursan, Narad, Naranarayan, Kapila, Dattatreya, Yagnya, Rishab, Prithu, Dhanvantari, Mohini, Vyas and Balaram. Others included in the list of avatars are Hamsa and Hayagriva. Vishnu's rescue is material, destruction of forces that threaten the natural and social order. The rescue is also spiritual, enlightening creatures so that they do not threaten natural and social order. It has often been commented that the order of Vishnu's descents follows the evolution of man. The aquatic Matsya, then the amphibian Kurma, then the terrestrial Varaha, followed by the half-human Narsimha, and finally the human Vaman. The human avatars, in turn, follow the Varna system. Parshuram is a Brahmana who behaves as a Kshatriya. Ram is a Kshatriya by birth and action. Krishna is a Kshatriya by birth but functions as a Vaishya, cowherd, and Shudra, charioteer. They also follow the ashrama system. Parshurama is a brahmachari, Ram and Krishna are grihasthis, Buddha becomes a vanaprasthi, and finally sannyasi. While material reality is bound to transform, Vishnu makes the transformations predictable by anticipating the changes and acting accordingly. Thus, over time, all organizations and systems and processes and codes lose their relevance. This inevitable and gradual collapse of all systems is expressed in the concept of yug. Just as a human life has 4 phases, childhood, youth, maturity and old age, every organization or system goes through 4 phases: Krita, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. It is said that the bull of Dharma stands on 4 legs in the Krita Yug, on 3 legs in Treta Yug, 2 in Dwapar Yug, and 1 in Kali Yug. After this, the bull of Dharma and the society it upholds is washed away by the waters of Pralaya. This is death of the world, followed by rebirth. In the new life, the 4 yugs will follow each other once again. This is the Kal Chakra, or the circle of time. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Whenever dharma is threatened, I descend to set things right." This line has to be read with an understanding of Yuga. Vishnu does not stop the march of time, nor does he reverse it. An avatar does not restore the ideal dharma, because there is no ideal dharma. An avatar redefines dharma for a particular age. Dharma of Krita Yuga is not the dharma of Treta Yuga. Times are different, needs are different. Hence, the code of civilization is different. One can look at Vishnu as a doctor who appears whenever there is a disease. He restores health but does not stop aging. Eventually, a patient will die. The doctor's duty is to help the patient live a full and healthy life. This is what avatars do: balance human demands with nature's needs for as long as possible. Pralaya is an eventuality, but an avatar prevents it from happening prematurely. One can say that when one age has reached its ebb, an avatar appears to facilitate the transition to the next age. Parshuram thus appears when the golden age of Krita Yuga gives way to the silver age of Treta Yuga. Ram appears when the Treta Yuga gives way to the bronze age of Dwapar Yuga. Krishna appears when the Dwapar Yuga gives way to the iron age of Kali Yuga. Buddha shows the way in Kali Yuga, and when Kali Yuga comes to a close, Kalki heralds Pralaya, death that leads to rebirth.
जब चाहो ऑन हो जाओ, एपिक ऑन चलाओ। Available across all devices.